You in place?
Yep. Got a good view of the estate where this meeting is supposed to take place. What now?
Albara's our target. He's supposed to be here tonight.
Well, I'm glad I brought this rifle. But what's the deal with the scope?
It can transmit images to me in real time. Aim at someone, and I'll run their picture through the database. See if we get a match. The longer you focus on a target, the quicker I can make an ID. The ID is all I need.
And if the target's a scumbag, I take him out?
That's your call. If you decide to shoot, just make sure you don't do it if the target's inside of a camera or another person. We don't know who Albara's meeting, so taking anyone else out may have repercussions, depending on who their friends are. Owns a sports car dealership in Naples. Does a lot of international business, but no criminal record. Not our guy.
Controls are very fidgety, so I'm temporarily reducing mouse sensitivity. Can manually control it to some extent, but even then it's very sensitive. It's odd because it's not sensitive anywhere else.
Roman artist. Made a name for himself last year with a controversial exhibit in Paris. Some local juvenile offenses, but otherwise he's clean. Not our target.
It's still very sensitive. Here I can barely move it, but it's just I don't get it. Probably another console control thing. It makes sense there, but here it's just a huge annoyance.
A nobody.
Looks like the guards are clear. Moving up to the next position. In position.
All right, let's begin. Security guard. He's clean. Well, she's a little underdressed.
Definitely a cold night from the looks of it.
All right, Mike. Spanish celebrity talk show host. He's a known meth user, but nothing related to financing terrorists or arms smuggling. Dutch flower baron. He's suspected of dipping into the drug trade, but that's all I've got. Nothing really incriminating. Private security. Ex-special forces. Not our man, but definitely a professional. He planned and led the assault that took back the hijacked British jet last year.
I remember reading about that. Should I get an autograph for me?
No, I work for the infamous Mike Thornton. Compared to you, he's small time.
I'm in position overlooking the chateau. A lot of guests tonight.
I see. Mike, be very...
Careful, I know. I don't want a mob after me before we have a target.
He's a curator for one of the museums in town. His latest exhibit on the Crusades has drawn some fire, but otherwise he's clean. Immigrated to France from the West Bank about 10 years ago, and serves on the board of directors for the Christian Islamic Confederation. He's practically a saint. Keep looking. An American novelist. He's got a bestseller right now on corporate involvement in the Middle East.
Is it any good?
I'm waiting for the movie. Anyway, nothing on him. He's a cop in Rome. Must be moonlighting as a bodyguard for one of these guys. That's Albara. That's him.
Take him out?
Hold on. A lot of State Department and Interpol records. State Department says he's dirty. Interpol says his finances are legitimate, though. And
Mina, do I take him out?
none of these State Department records are sourced. I can't tell where they came from, or when. Best I can tell, their intel was added to his sheet a few months before you left for Saudi Arabia.
He's a member of Al Samad, right?
I don't know. I'd say yes. But I might be wrong. You can take him out, or we can abort. It's up to you.
I'm aborting the mission.
All right, Mike.
To basically the situation wasn't all that clear. Yeah, he might be the guy, but considering what's been happening here and how the information has just on him has just been added there recently, without any real information where it's coming from, better not just shoot the guy. Identified all guests at the gate without being spotted. Identified all targets at the guest house without being spotted. Identified Al-Bara but waited for the background check to be complete. Upon receiving the information, Al-Bara's involvement with potential terrorists' acts in Rome seemed questionable, so Agent Thornton aborted the mission. It seems Agent Thornton's activities in Rome have been successful in uncovering Halbeck's plans. Upon returning to the safe house, Thornton had a message waiting for him requesting a meeting at a local cafe concerning Halbeck.
What's that beeping noise?
Scarlet. I have a friend in Moscow who owes me a favor. I'm sure she can help me get this story on the circuits. It's never the fuck-ups that cause such a scandal, it's the cover-ups. Fortunately, people never learn that, and so I have a job. So, how much cash? $1,000. Yeah, you don't do this for the money. Mina. Just a heads up, someone's been running a lot of web searches with keywords Mike Thornton and Michael Thornton in the Milan area. Whoever is doing it did it through a Halbeck Milan office computer, though they used a public terminal so I can't trace it back to a particular end user. I'll let you know if I find out more. Jibril Al-Bara to Mike Thornton. Mr. Thornton, if you stalk a man with political and criminal connections, kill him before he uses his contacts to track you down. I know that you were lurking outside the chateau, but I don't know why. Consider my interest piqued. I refuse to let you intimidate me. Let's meet face to face. See if you have the guts to kill me in broad daylight. Meet me at the Café Trionfo. Okay, we can agree. If you want to meet, so be it. You can taunt. If I wanted you dead, that would have been your going away party. I don't make a habit of sitting down to sip coffee with terrorists. And investigate. Hey Mina, I got this email from Jibril. Seems a little odd that he found out who I was, and odder still that he wants to talk with me. If you have a moment, see if you can trace this email for me and pull up some intel. Okay, go for intel. So we're going to a meeting. Wasn't much of a mission anyway, so we might as well. Meet with Jibril al-Bara at a cafe in Rome and find out what he knows about Halbek's presence in the city and how Al-Samad may be involved.
No sign of Albara yet.
Maybe he stood you up.
I don't know. Something feels wrong.
Well, stay alert. I'm starting to trust your instincts.
Sorry, that's...
Switch off your transmitter. If you reach for your gun, one of my men will put a bullet in your skull.
Transmitter's off. I don't plan on reaching for my gun unless you make it necessary.
Once I have the information I need, I plan to leave. You will not be harmed. Perhaps you thought you could enter Rome under the radar. You almost did. But you broadcast your location. Eventually.
I had to. You were my last lead. I'm here to find out what Halbek is doing in Rome and their ties to Al-Samad.
And what led you to believe that Halbek has any interests in Rome or Al-Samad?
Are you denying that either one is true?
I do not believe you would have come here without evidence.
And what makes you think that?
You aren't here in an official capacity. You are operating under Alpha Protocol.
Interesting. Considering the program's secret, I would have expected you to say traitor, unless you have insider knowledge.
If you think you're the first to be abandoned by your government, you would be wrong. You are Michael Thornton, an American citizen, but you have traveled extensively since birth. A known freelancer.
I'm an operative now. After Saudi, I had to change my 5-year plan. I'm guessing you're here to confirm the file you have on me. Anything else you need to check?
Reports place you as someone loyal to your country and who believes in carrying their missions through.
Is that so odd?
In today's day and age, yes. But not to me. And you were the one who crossed paths with a German mercenary in Moscow. Z.
I get around, and she was a little insistent we get together.
I am not surprised. She is a mercenary, but hardly professional, or discreet, it seems.
Have you two had dealings before?
Contract disputes only.
So you know a great deal about me, and I know who you are. You're Leyland's right-hand man, his lackey, toady, henchman. And you wear those gloves to keep the blood off your hands. I've read your dossier. You've lived a full life. Kuwait, South Africa, that oil refinery explosion in Moscow. It's like a concert tour with you.
Yes. You, on the other hand, have managed to enter Rome quietly. I didn't know you were here until an hour ago. You're skilled at keeping a low profile. No murders, no public announcement. Very impressive.
What happened to Albara?
Dead, of course. Once you'd ID'd him, well, his use to me was at an end. In less than a day's time, you have already managed to cause me considerable inconvenience. Now, tell me what you're doing here.
I was tracking down a lead, and it looks like I've found it.
I see. So you thought all you had to do was wait and we would speak. Interesting.
What I don't understand, though, is why we're talking at all. Unless keeping me alive is important for some reason.
I have orders, and I am a cautious person.
So this is a social call, warning me away? That's polite of you.
I believe you have nowhere to go for help. In that situation, it is a rare man who goes to his enemy's door. So, yes, this is a social call. A warning. You have proven yourself capable, but pursuing this course of action will not serve you any longer. Go underground, hide, but stay out of our way.
Or else what?
Or people you care about will start to die. We know you've been in contact with one of your fellow agents. That contact will die if you persist, and then we will kill you.
Those are your terms. Allow you to carry out your mission, and I stay out of the way.
Yes.
You realize I would be betraying my country.
Yes. And that does not change my terms. I understand your feelings, and I encourage you to set them aside.
So we're done here. I leave Rome, leave you to your plan, and that's it.
Yes. What you do next is up to you, but there are only two immediate choices. Leave, you live. Stay, you die.
I think you're the one who needs to leave. And it's simple, because your boss's plan is flawed.
Really?
Leyland's never seen the world outside of the boardroom or an air-conditioned limo. And he's planning something to change the world? Doesn't seem to me like he knows what he's doing.
Of course. He provided a goal, another provided a plan, I provided the means. We are done here. Leave Rome. If we see each other again, it will be the last time.
Okay. Marburg expressed admiration for Agent Thornton's ability to keep a low profile in Rome, and Thornton had been so covert, Marburg hadn't known he'd even entered the city until recently. New mission, contact Madison St. James.
I confess, you slipped into Rome almost without us noticing. You were even more difficult to track after that.
Between Halbeck and local authorities, the locals were the tough ones.
No matter. Mr. Marburg found you. That must have been a surprise, meeting up for lunch like that.
When we talked, he had a lot to say about Halbeck and some suggestions about my involvement with your corporation.
Really? I can rarely get 3 words from the man.
Well, feel free to have him threaten you whenever you get tired of listening to yourself.
I'd be curious to hear more, and your first impression of Mr. Marburg. What did you discuss?
We discussed business. Turns out both of us have experience with abuse of authority.
He described you as a man of your word. Patriotic, I believe, also came into the conversation. But Mr. Marburg was not always the best judge of character. Nor does he instill much loyalty in employees. Speaking of which, this woman entered the picture not long after your meeting with Marburg. She was in our office in Rome. Madison, I believe.
Yes.
I always wondered, did you ever regret getting her into this?
It wasn't my choice.
Oh, Mike. In the end, it was.
Mike, we may have a problem. The VCI employee I mentioned before, Madison, I think she's going to act.
What do you mean, now?
She's calling the operator and asking for you by name.
She can't be working for Marburg. Unless this is a trap. Who is she calling?
The city directory. And maybe the police next. If she does...
Can you intercept the call? Redirect it?
What? Why?
I want to know why she's looking for me.
Okay, let me patch her through. Operator?
Miss St. James?
Hello? Yes, is this the operator?
No, Miss St. James. This is Michael Thornton.
Oh, thank God. Mr. Thornton, please, you have to listen to me.
I don't believe we've met before. How do you know my name and why are you calling?
I have reason to believe your life is in danger. I know it sounds crazy, but
You don't say.
I don't want to discuss the details over the phone. This line may be tapped. She's a sharp one. But it's important I speak to you immediately. Is there someplace we can meet?
Of course. I'll send you the address of a local restaurant.
All right. I still have to hail a cab.
I'll have one sent to your cross streets.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you soon, Miss St. James.
12 points. We definitely want the Shadow at Operative Advanced. More invisibility, maybe Concealment Mastery. Although... Shit. 20 seconds. Improved criticals might not be a bad thing. It would cut down the time we need to aim, and the range increase also is fantastic. At the same time, yeah, I'll take the Concealment Mastery. You might not need to take Shadow Operative Expert for the next, but this is a passive ability that gives another 10% reduction in visibility for detection range. So this should help things. On the other hand, 15 points and we'll get improved critical mastery. This would drastically increase the range, right? It's 45 meters before this, and it's usually a 5-meter increase. This would be a decent combat range, and the aim I think goes from 2.5 seconds as we have now to 1.5 seconds. So yeah, I would say a fairly drastic increase in our combat capabilities. Still, we rely more heavily on concealment, so we'll go with concealment mastery first, then probably go for improved pistol critical hit mastery. We need 2 level ups basically. These are nice, but I don't think they're that important. I think I'll leave things here because it's another meeting, so I'm not sure if there's going to be another mission or another dialogue mission after dialogue mission after dialogue mission. Still. How many proper missions have we had? Like 1. Yeah. I wish there was a... I will do one more thing. No. It doesn't matter now because of the checkpoint system. But I've been meaning to get rid of the hat for some time, but I always forget. It's not really proper weather to wear a hat everywhere, and it looks stupid in these meetings that we're constantly getting into. So maybe shades and wear a hat.